You're watching the final highlights of the 2014 D1NZ Pro-AM Development Series, Round 6, the grand final from Mount Smart Stadium, where the championship chase was down to the wire with Vincent Langhorne sitting in the hot seat for the series title after back-to-back victories in Taupo and Christchurch. And here are your top qualifiers for Round 6. Sam Smith grabbed the top spot with an 81.5 ahead of Vincent Langhorne, who continues to have a superb drive over the last 3 rounds. Joel Hedges from C's Garage takes 3rd ahead of Stuart Baker, and Adam Davies rounds out the top 5 in the Mimiko S14. Kicking off the top 16 in the first lap was all carnage on a slippery track. Top qualifiers Sam Smith and Jordan Tweedy straight into the wall. With light rain throughout practice, the battles were no exception. Absolutely greasy conditions made the competition much harder at Mount Smart. It was game face on for most as Rene Richmond took on Jace Brown in the 16, grabbing a win into the top 8. Team DSR's Adam Davies took a win over Joe Marshall in the ATJ S13, while Joel Patterson put on a sensational drive in the all-wired AE86, knocking out Stu Baker for the top 8. Joel Hedges and Ben Wilkinson paired off in a battle of S13s. The C's Garage machine with a good lead run over the RB-powered Pack and Save Sylvia. Ben Wilkinson would take a spin at the hairpin. Hedges through to the top 8. Sitting second in the points chase, Gaz Grove took on Dylan Woolhouse in the V8-powered Just Cage C35. And despite going OMT, the Spill Response S14 would take the honours. Gaz Grove through with the win. Carnage continued in the top 16 with Michael Thorley taking a solid hit to the rear of the Femme Fatale C33 Laurel. Tom Marshall through with a win, while Vincent Langhorne gave chase to Ryan Doricott, the series points leader taking a commanding win in the RB-powered C33. Into the top 8, and Sam Smith returned to the grid with a round of applause from fans as the Vernon and Vasey S15 was repaired from the first lap carnage. Rene Richmond unable to fend off a fired up Smith, who had progressed through to the top 4. Joel Patterson took on Adam Davies in the 13B rotary powered S14. The little AE86 couldn't quite match the Team DSR Sylvia, Davies taking the win. If it wasn't carnage, it was drama for the Pro-Am series as championship leader Vincent Langhorne took a big spin against Tom Marshall in the ATJ S13, and despite his best efforts to redeem himself in the chase, Tom Marshall kept a clean lead, progressing through to the top 4. The action continued straight off the line with Gaz Grove and Joel Hedges going bumper to bumper. The C's Garage S13 leading out from the Spill Response Sylvia. Both drivers sitting in the top 3 with a chance at standing on the championship podium. With a straight line from Gaz Grove in the final section, it looked to be advantage to Hedges in the S13, but in the second pass, the C's Garage S13 would almost take a spin on the hairpin, Hedges doing his best to keep the car on track as the battle went OMT. In the rerun, Hedges would lead out from Gaz Grove on a greasy track and find himself smashing into the wall, the Spill Response S14 taking a big hit in the rear. With darkness falling, both cars were repaired and back on track for one final pass. Gaz Grove leading out in the wounded S14. The C's Garage Sylvia in behind, struggling to keep up. Gaz Grove fighting on into the top 4. Heading into the finals, and it was Sam Smith making a big comeback after stacking it into the wall on the first lap, taking a winning lead run over Adam Davies, who spun into turn 1. In the second pass, Davies would spin out again on turn 1, Sam Smith sliding into the wall with nowhere to go, and despite more carnage, Smith would survive on through to the finals. On the flip side, Gaz Grove and Tom Marshall went head to head for a chance at the top step, both drivers doing their best in cold slippery conditions as rain showers continued to fall, Gaz Grove with an awesome chase. Unable to be separated, the battle went to an OMT. Grove would lead out from Marshall as the ATJ S13 gave a wild chase, Tom Marshall hunting down the spill response S14, Gaz Grove making a mistake at the hairpin. With both drivers making mistakes in both passes, the battle went sudden death. This time Tom Marshall would dominate the battle with consistency in both passes, taking a winning lead run over Gaz Grove, the ATJ S13 taking a win into the final. This would see Grove battle Adam Davies for third place, the Mimico S14 struggling through the loop, Gaz Grove hanging back with a clean pass to take third place on the podium. In a mammoth comeback, battered and bruised, Sam Smith had fans on their feet for the final battle of the 2014 season, and for the first time under lights, Pro-Am put on a stunning show supporting the D1NZ Championship Series, Smith with a good lead run. In the final pass, Tom Marshall would lead out from Smith, and with both drivers setting even pace, it came down to consistency and minor mistakes. Sam Smith in the Vernon and Vasey S15 taking victory from Marshall, one of the biggest top 16 comebacks in Pro-Am history. So Sam Smith takes victory at Mount Smart, the first time Pro-Am has run under lights, with Tom Marshall, one of the young rising stars of D1NZ, taking second, ahead of Grove, Davies and Vincent Langhorne slotting into 5th place. And here we see the championship results, and you could not find a tighter championship fight because Vincent Langhorne has held on to win the 2014 Pro-Am Series by just 4 points ahead of Gaz Grove and Tom Marshall. What a fantastic battle for the series, with 6 rounds across New Zealand, thousands of tyres, hundreds of battles, but only one Drift King. Vincent Langhorne is the new D1NZ Pro-Am champion. We hope you've enjoyed our highlights of the Pro-Am series this year. We'll see you next year when we do it all again. Who will be the next Pro-Am champion? Find out right here on oversteertv.co.nz.
What?